Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome to Young Titan World. I wish I had that much energy to be my whole ecstatic self. You know, the one that could shout on top of his voice and say whatever he wants to say within the time given him. But I'm just gonna go and do the chill kind of response. I really enjoy the time that I get to come on here to check on you guys and check on how you're doing. Most of the time, I have to agree that I don't have a lot of people around me that I can actually hang with. So you guys count as the closest thing that I have to like a friend. And I just want to say that in these moments, I'm really appreciative of all that you guys do when you subscribe to the channel. It really does make my day. I'm sorry I'm speaking so slow. Usually when I'm like this, it means that I'm too emotional in order to say sense in words. But just to be completely straight to the point, you guys are amazing. And I love your support and I love everyone that is here. I want to also do something today. And today, I'm going to stop comparing myself to all that have existed before me. There are those who have come onto this platform and they've inspired you to do great things, amazing things, things that I had problems with. And they made your days better because they showed their faces and they were always there to support you guys, to make you guys laugh, to always be there for you. I want to be that guy. But I also know that my strength is not that infinite. I don't have a wild card. I can't shout on top of my voice 24/7. Sometimes I fall apart, sometimes I make bad decisions. Sometimes I also make a very poor judgment of the company that I keep. Sometimes I always say that there are things to learn from those moments, but it pretty much hurts. Sometimes trusting people doesn't really get you as far as you think it would. Sometimes when you're in pain and despair, that is when you learn the most. And sometimes I feel like when I look out to everyone that is out there, everyone that has seen me and all that I stand for, it makes you think that, whoa, does he really have what it takes to get as far as he claims he's gonna go? My answer is yes, because I am the Young Titan and I am unstoppable. I'm gonna be at the top of everything. This food chain is mine to dominate, and I am unstoppable. You know, just to be discreet and everything. I always have to look both ways before I shout random shit, you know. But yeah, I also really want to thank everyone here because, you know, the feeling of unstoppable comes from you guys. And I'm cheesy as fuck at sometimes. But hey, as far as I'm concerned, you guys don't hate it. And I know I don't hate it. So how about we fucking go? Let's fucking go. In a loud place, I'm fucking loud. In a quiet place, I'm fucking audible. You can hear me in quiet places. You can hear me very well. I know it's not easy. Every single moment that you take a step outside, there is a potential, there's a crisis. There are some times where you're not even sure about the decision that you make. Most of the time, the people out there, they always tell you about the bad things that happen to you, or the bad things that will happen to you. And I'm not gonna lie. That is the truth. That is the truth that exists with everyone here. That is the reality of it. Everyone wants to share a negative experience for you to understand that they've been through a lot. Now, while I do accept your honest interpretation of what happened to you, you cannot define the future based on your past experiences. Now, yes, you can learn a thing or two of what to do and what not to do. But don't let people's past experiences stop you for trying things that you haven't tried. Oh, you know what? When I tried to get into the world of boxing, they told me I was gonna go against Mike Tyson. But I never did. So, you will never too. You're not the same people. Okay? Yeah, definitely. Don't know why I decided to come up with an analogy based on Mike Tyson, but yesterday I didn't even remember his name. So, maybe that's the reason. Anyways, it's quite simple to me. You guys have your dreams there. You have things that you want to do. Maybe you're doing something that is not exactly what you wanted to do because you're trying to impress your parents and make them see that you didn't waste their money when you went to college. That's fine. That's great. But don't stop yourself from trying things that you want to try. Go get it. Now, maybe I'm not shouting on top of my voice like Shia LaBeouf, or telling you that I believe in you when I've never met you before. But take a good look at yourself. In a couple of decades later, you might be dead. You're not gonna be on this planet forever, let's face it. You're gonna be gone. No one's gonna remember you at a certain point in time, even those who are related to you by blood. Because their life has to go on, and so do you. So why not try to at least pick up the few pieces that you can and make it work for yourself? After all, it's not for the people out there. If the people are that much concerned with what your future is going to be like and constantly keep judging you, then maybe they don't have anything better to do with their time. They're constantly seeking another piece of shit or another piece of someone's life to make theirs feel whole. And if they come after you, it's because they want to shoot you down, just like they shot themselves down. You need to understand that it's not going to come from your dear motivational speaker, that you need to work on your own goals and what you have in mind. But it also takes a lot more to just keep doing the hard things. The things that you want to do, but don't have the strength to do them. I could remember when I was in high school. High school was an interesting time. There are a lot of people in my class, and we had the nerds. And the nerds were amazing. They would get such high scores in mathematics and science. And there would be no one that would dispute their intelligence. But you know the ones that I hated the most? It was the ones that looked like gangsters, that were flexing all the time. But they were good in class. The guys who looked good had girlfriends and were living the La Vida Loca. That made me jealous, because I thought that if I didn't care about how I dressed, if I didn't care about anything else except the working class, the homework, the assignments, I was gonna get the level of nerd. That's what I thought. But it did not work out that way. In fact, it made me so scared that I would literally not learn at all, because I'd be overwhelmed with the feeling that I was not gonna get to that level, which is really stupid if you think about it. But all this time, me hating them and me focusing my energy in the wrong way was all just a cry for help. Because I thought to myself that I knew why they could get so ahead of me. It just like, picture this. You have a really handsome looking guy who is great with the ladies. He's good at math. He's good at all the subjects. He actually puts in first and second most of the time in the class. And then there's you, person who barely learns a thing, the person who tries to learn all the time, but cannot understand, cannot keep up in class. And you assume to yourself, you know what, this guy has a cheat code, and I hate him because of that, because I'm trying my hardest, but it doesn't seem to work the same way. So what does he have that I don't have? But now that I think about it, we were never on the same level. I wasn't like him. I wasn't like anyone, really. I was me. And me did not learn the same way the others learned. How I found out the way that I could learn things so easily was actually through watching TV shows. Because I could remember an episode that I watched based on the food that I ate. And it was weird, because every time I say that I watched The Big Bang Theory, the only reason why I could remember all that happened in The Big Bang Theory is because I remember what kind of food I was eating when I was watching The Big Bang Theory, which is weird. So I'm like, when I was watching The Big Bang Theory, it was back in the university, you know. I would go to the library. I would go download a bulk. Like, I would download seasons of Big Bang Theory, and then I put them on my laptop. Then I go back to my crib, cook some noodles, and then watch it. I binge watch everything on Big Bang Theory to the point where I got sleepy and I would play it in the background. And when the next day comes, I try and figure out where I stopped watching and started sleeping in order to get myself more acquainted with the series. I did this for quite some time. And you know what? Every single time that I remember it, it always has a different spice to it, a different angle that I learned. Now, I can't say that it's the same for everyone, but why would I go the extent of telling you this story if it didn't have a point? Of course it has a point. Sometimes you compare yourself to the wrong people. In fact, you compare yourself. That's literally your problem. You're not supposed to do that. Maybe rather than spending so much time being envious of those around you, maybe focus on what interests you the most. What makes you have a superpower? What gets your focus in gear? Because chances are the only reasons why you're not able to figure it out is because you're too busily concentrating on those who quite honestly couldn't give a fuck about you. They're probably focusing on their next conquest or next girl to go conquer. And you are sitting there being jealous of them. Like it's gonna make your life any better. Trust me, it won't. It never has. And it probably never will. So rather than take care of the people around you, take care of yourself. Alright? Now, I just want to leave you guys with just this piece of advice. Which maybe in your dictionary it means nothing. Which I completely understand. But here goes. You're not gonna benefit from knowing people's past experiences. Create the past experience. Learn from it on your own stage, on your own level. Because the advice that people give you are based on their experiences. And they might tell you that it's easier to learn from other people, but the truth is, it's not though. When you go through something, you have a way you look through it. There are things that you can learn. There are things that people can learn from certain situations, but we don't learn the same thing. But you know who benefits a lot from those experiences? It's you. But only you can benefit if you know what you want. If you go through an experience, there will be something that your subconscious will be looking out for. It's not the same as the other guy who told you about their advice and how to help you. So how about you go through it? Learn your experience and use it in the best possible way, rather than trying to get the shortcut. Because how many times do they tell you that the shortcuts never help you? Isn't learning from other people's experiences the shortcut too? And how does that help you? If the advice they give you is just gonna make you make more mistakes, how is that beneficial? Yes, I know it's long and tedious, but it's perfect that you would be able to make a decision like that without necessarily putting yourself in a room where your thoughts get caved in, where your opinion doesn't matter. Because that's what happens, You abandon what you would learn from a situation and you go take the people who are claimed to doing better. Now you could tell me that all those successful businessmen who write down books tell you all sorts of stuff that happens to them, all the things they needed to do to get successful. And I can bet you this, you can do the exact same things that they tell you to and not get rich. In fact, you might find yourself in a much more economical situation or problem, much more than if you just did your own thing. You want advice from you want advice from them? Oh yeah, sure. That will help you. Go for advice from someone who may or may not have had help from parties that they probably never knew. There are always some pieces of their story that's missing, a gap somewhere where all of a sudden everything starts setting right for these people. They started getting more deals. They start making more money. And it's not because of their persistence, education, or willpower. It was because there was something. Could have been a helping hand, the right timing, which they obviously didn't know, or the right audience that caught their message. And so now they're parading their riches and their fame and fortune, all the while making you think that, hey, I used these steps to get rich and famous. But it's never the case. You know, I have watched a lot of YouTubers, especially the ones that tell you so much about how to get rich off the internet. They give you a number of ways, and you could try all of them. And there's always a technicality somewhere. It's either you're not in the right country for you to do that kind of stuff, or you're in a different situation. They don't give you the parts that you need. And so you might think, hey, if this one doesn't work, at least we could try the next one they're gonna show us. And you would end up going through an entire 20-minute video on how to get rich without necessarily having a way to get rich. In fact, you would have 100% way to waste your data and a 0% chance of learning anything from that video. And you think to yourself, maybe he was no good. Let's try another person. And you just keep going down that rabbit hole. And that rabbit hole just keeps going. You know, the ones that are a little bit more noticeable these days, the ones that talk about, what they call it, views. Because everyone loves views, don't they? Everyone wants to go viral. They want to do the right set of things that would put them on the map. So they constantly do these things to get there. They watch a lot of TikToks on how to do it. They Google how to do it. Every single moment in time, everyone is trying to learn. But does it work though? No. Because no matter how many times you would choose to please the algorithm, you might not be the people's choice. You could make an even more excellent video than the other guy, but no one even notices what you've done because it gets 0 views. And you feel like you've wasted your time. You've learned a lot, I give you that. But it could be so many things that affects the way things turned out. Timing, or quite literally, your face. That face that you have can be the exact reason why a person will like your video or even subscribe to your channel. Not the information that you gave them, not the hashtags you had, but quite literally the face they saw. And you might think to yourself, well, I guess I should go put on some makeup. Makeup might or might not help you. But you see, the beauty of all this is that you would not know if you don't try. So what I'm telling you is not to discourage you